What is going on, guys? It is Eldon the Noble here for the Spacefarer's Atlas, and today we are talking about some bad news from Bethesda, but the silver linings in this bad news. So if you're interested in Starfield content, make sure you subscribe and strap in as we blast off. So right at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on May 12th, Bethesda announced on their Twitter that Starfield has been delayed until 2023. Their post to Twitter says, "We've made the decision to delay the launches of Redfall and Starfield to the first half of 2023. The teams of Arcane Austin, working on Redfall, and Bethesda Game Studios, working on Starfield, have incredible ambitions for their games, and we want to ensure that you receive the best, most polished versions of them. We want to thank everyone for their excitement for Redfall and Starfield. That energy is a huge part of what inspires all of us every day and drives our own excitement for what we are creating. We can't wait to share our first deep dive into the gameplay of Redfall and Starfield soon. Thank you for your support." So there you have it. When I first heard about it, I had to make sure it was real. The reason I was so surprised is that Todd Howard seemed to say that this date of 11/11/22 was pretty much set in stone by the following clip.
You've got Starfield, you have a release date that's in, I'm going to call it pencil on the calendar. You've penciled it right now. I don't think no game release dates get written in ink anymore until they've...
Yeah, we wrote it pretty hard in that trailer. So.
Well, I want to ask you about that in a minute, but...
that felt like some ink, but yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second,
Sure.
But...
So we can see they had every intention of not only releasing the game on 11/11/22, but they weren't really going to let anything stand in their way. Now the tweet says in the first half of 2023, so that could be anywhere from January 1st, 2023 to June 1st, 2023. That is a very large window. So yes, this is disappointing for more than one reason. There is the obvious that we now have to wait longer to get our hands on it, and I don't know about y'all, but I am over the moon excited about this. And we haven't even seen a game breakdown yet explaining all the features and such. Another reason this is disappointing is that they are no longer going to use such a memorable date as 11/11/22. I still remember Skyrim's release date of 11/11/11, and I didn't play that as much as other people did. On the note of a memorable date, they could still do something memorable, just not as much so. Something like 2/2/23 or 3/3/23. If I had to make a guess as to what the new date is now, I would probably guess 3/3/23. Now, like I said, this is disappointing news, but there are a couple of silver linings in this. For one, it gives Starfield more time for bug fixing and polishing. We don't want another Cyberpunk on our hands. I would rather them take much longer and delay it a couple times if it means that the final product will be great. In fact, Jason Schreier said, quote, "Last spring before E3, I spoke to some folks on Starfield who were extremely worried about committing to a 11/11/22 date based on the progress they had made so far. Next Cyberpunk was the term floated. Good on Bethesda for delaying even after announcing that specific date. And as Miyamoto once said, a delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad. That is the hope for Starfield, is that it gives time to be great." The other silver lining is from the tweet. "We can't wait to share our first deep dive into the gameplay of Redfall and Starfield soon. We know that Xbox Bethesda is having their conference exactly a month from today, and why they put this in their press release is that if in concept Starfield is released, let's say May of next year, which is a whole year out, then they could possibly show not much at all this conference. But with this release, we know we will definitely see gameplay and with that, obviously gameplay mechanics. So it sounds like we will still get the full showcase we were always going to get next month. Now we could talk about Microsoft's influence in all of this and how they did the same thing to the newest Halo, but I will save that for us to talk about in the comments. Speaking of the comments, let me know in the comments how you feel about this. Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think this spells trouble for Bethesda? What are your thoughts? Well, if you are excited about Starfield like I am, then make sure you subscribe so you can tune into more of the Spacefarer's Atlas as we begin our, well, delayed journey through the stars.